Hi guys, Norm with you again, and we're back with this weird stylophone, um, Black Grilled Treble Stylophone, the one where the lower A didn't work when a particular battery was installed. And in the last video we looked at this capacitor here, which has a bulge in it, and so that is the first thing that's going to be replaced. This was 47,000 picofarads or 47 nanofarads, and that's the size of it. But here is the modern replacement. Absolutely tiny. Look at that. Yep, you wouldn't believe it, that could be the same value, but with modern sort of chemicals and technologies. There we go. That is the replacement. So we will now get this board out and then get that replaced. Golly, these are a bit tight. Obviously never been out before. And while we've got this apart, we will of course clean the keypad. Yeah, it helps if you learn to talk before starting a video. Right, come on. Okay. What are we stuck on? There's that resistor leg there. Okay, so there's the other side of the board. Everything looking nice. Yep. So that's great. You can see there's obviously a lot of dirt and muck in here. So that will be good when we clean it. But we are doing this capacitor here, which is there to there. So it looks to be those 2 points. This one is back. There we can see the bulge on that capacitor. And that clearly shouldn't be like that. So yeah, let's actually test this one and see what we get. There, 46.2. So it's actually measuring okay, really. And when I measured it in the circuit, it was measuring like 43. So this may not be the problem. Well, let's now test one of the new capacitors and see what this one reads. There, 47.6. So really measuring just about the same as the other one. So yeah, this may not be the problem after all. That's nice. This one. Oh, that's nice too. Lovely. We just got to snip off the excess. Good stuff. And basically now we can try it. Right. So that's the bottom A. And let's now stick on this Kodak battery. Get on. Okay. And go on. And let's see. Well, there we go. Absolutely working. Could you believe that? Well, that's the way it goes. And now I'm just hunting around to find the Brasso. This is Brasso wadding, and this, which won't open. Golly, that's literally solid. The lid on there. God, has somebody glued this on or what? This literally will not open. Should. God. Okay, so we won't be cleaning this with Brasso because the fucking Brasso won't open. Alright. Thank freak for that. Not going to bother showing you about cleaning the keypad because that's been done in many other videos of mine. You can see the keypad being cleaned in various different videos. So that's about as good as that's going to get. Now, when it comes to putting these boards back in, obviously it is quite a tight fit, and with these stiff wires it can be quite awkward. But when you're putting these in, you have got to get the board under those wires there, obviously. But it's got to sit underneath these two sort of clip bits, and you push it in like that, and then angle it down, and that's the board in position properly and lovely. So I was expecting to have to change these electrolytics, and if this was in better condition I probably would, but because this one really has got a load of grime and behind the grill and everything, it's not looking the best. So I'm really not going to bother doing that at the minute. Now of course just need to clean the stylus. Now the way to do that is just get it in the Brasso wadding like this, give it a good rub, make it really nice. Now it must be said that you should never use sandpaper on these. Even very, very fine grit sandpaper can cause some problems, and you should be able to get it looking really nice with just some Brasso. I mean, maybe if you've got some like 3000 grit or 4000 grit sandpaper, you can give it a quick wipe, but really a bit of Brasso and then it should look quite nice like this is looking now. And if I can zoom in without wobbling the camera too much, there we are, that is looking very nice. Obviously got to buff it with a bit of tissue, and there's a trick that a lot of people don't know, and I'm going to tell you now. The trick for keeping these styluses clean, once you've initially cleaned it, and you know, that now is looking very nice, so it's not really showing up on the camera, but that is bright and lovely. But what you can do, if you get a standard piece of paper, and here is just a standard piece of paper, let me zoom out, okay, and just every now and again, you just scribble with the pen on a bit of paper, or the stylus rather, and that will help just to keep it clean. Okay guys, so there it is, the stylophone looking lovely, or as good as it can. And look at that shiny stylus. Oh, just a couple of seconds with a bit of Brasso, and that has come up looking bloody lovely. So yep, all you need for these is a little bit of Brasso, and they're good. Of course, here is the bad capacitor, which is headed for the bin, although when measured on the capacitor tester, it measured very similar to the new capacitor. But for some reason, with that bulge, the lower A, which is now working fine, is all good. So there we are, guys. That's the Black Grilled Treble Stylophone, now fixed. Thanks for watching, guys. Cheers for now.